It's almost my turn, standing in a line to define if I'll be saved or if I'll burn. And I can peek my head around and see a line before me, all these nervous faces frowning as they gaze at glory. And all their stories have been written, and that's what makes them nervous, knowing that they can't go back and change the verdicts. So with my fate set in stone, I begin to think, what will I say when I stand before the King? Well, maybe I'll say, I live my life for Him, but I truly know in my heart that I entertain my sin. So maybe I should plead, drop down on my knees, and ask God for just one more chance to be free. And as the line moves forward, my fate moves closer, and reality begins to set in. I can't start over. All the decisions that I made and all the nights I never prayed start to sink in my stomach as I make my way. And I begin to look around, just searching for a way out, because I know full well of the extent of my doubt. And so I take another step, and my feet feel like stone, and I can see a bright figure sitting up on the throne. And I think back further to the time of conversion, wishing I could come up with a slight diversion. But where would I run? Moving one by one, just hoping my empty, broken promises would satisfy the sun. And there were plenty of times that I followed His word, but I knew it wouldn't be enough for me to be sure. And so I sat, sinking slowly in my stone-cold fear, because I know that it's over. My judgment's here. And as I move towards the front, my feet feeling like blocks, I start to remember my old faith walk. And it was bumpy, it was bruised, it was hard, and it was overused, but I knew that it was real, so I had no excuse. 'Cause conviction tried to stop me, but I was always cocky, 'cause I thought I'd have the time to make it right before He stopped me. But it's too late, the roller coaster's over. There's no more ups and downs, 'cause the King's getting closer. And so I cling to my faith, even though it's small, and I take a deep breath and I stand real tall. It's my turn now, and I step up slowly, and I hear those words, "Son, did you know me?" And I fall to the floor, but He calls me to rise, and I muster up the strength to look up in His eyes, and I say, God, my life is a story of grace. From the moment I was born, I was prone to disgrace, but my grace didn't come from me achieving perfection. It was undeserved love. It was my sin and your affection, and my skin, my rejection, but I pray I'm your selection. It was a perfect love surrounding all my imperfection. As I know I spent most of my life just running away, I pretended not to listen when you called my name. And to make matters worse, I felt like I was okay, but I had deception down to an art. It was just a game I would play. But God, you saw through, and you staked your claim, and you wiped me clean, all my fears, my shame. But even after you saved me, I was living the same, 'cause I wasn't ready to come and let you take the reins. So you broke me, you showed me what it is to be holy, and you started just to mold me, changing me slowly. And since that moment, I've known who you are, and I've grown in this journey, but I still slip and fall. But you took my sins and you washed me clean, and despite my resistance, you cling to me. And I know that I trusted when things were easy, but when things got rough, all my trust would leave me. And I'd trust completely when I was blessed, but I tried to do it all when my life got stressed. I'm sorry, and I know you're completely supreme, but I was blinded from the truth. I wasn't living redeemed. God, I know my sin has been my anthem, but I pray that the power of the cross would pay my ransom. I waited, breathless, restless for a response, knowing that my fate was in the balance of God. Sweat beating down as I eagerly waited. I was empty, vulnerable, standing naked. And He looked down at me, my hands tremble with fear, and with grace He says the words my soul was longing to hear. Well done, my good and faithful servant.